Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Paldea Masterfair video, and today let's check out the upcoming Sing Soon Nemona and Screamtail in Paldea Masterfair EX, which will be dropping this reset. And yeah, this unit, wow. it's a classic, you know, right before anniversary, we're gonna throw you a big one, right? That makes you really want to spend your gems. But again, folks, do keep in mind, anniversary is coming up really soon, so regardless of how much you like this Screamtail, unless you're just the biggest Screamtail / Nemona fan in the world, best to just hold on to your gems for a bit and, you know, see what happens with the anniversary, because more than likely this banner will be still up once we know what the anniversary units are. But with that aside, let's check the unit out real quick, right? So it is a striker, physical striker specifically, right? In terms of what it has upside wise, there's a lot of good stuff about this unit. First of all, there is the AOE no split damage on its on its B move over here, right? Ferocious Play Rough. It's AOE, and then you don't have the split damage, right? It is 4 gauges, 165 at 3 out of 5, 180 at 5 out of 5 BP. So not the craziest amount of BP, but for a 4 gauge move at least, right? But yeah, it does AoE no split damage, right? And then it has a lot of physical move up next, this unit. For one, this booster energy gives +1 physical and special move up next to yourself, although it doesn't have any special moves, mainly for the physical move up next. And also in your passive, it increases your physical move up next by 2 when it uses booster energy, or an ally turns the weather sunny, and yeah, it has sunny day, so there's that as well. So every time you use booster energy, that's +3 physical move up next, straight up, right? And then, you know, extra +2 when you're using sunny day, and that's yeah, just a lot of physical move up next all around. There's even more in the you know, in the grid when you consider there's you get MP back with Sync Burst, right? You also get extra physical move up next when, you know, if you pick this up, ally set weather zone terrain, you get physical move up next as well, right? So there's that. And then what else we got? We got yeah, it's fully self-sufficient, 100% crits, right? Fruitful attack in the passive over there. You're always just gonna crit. And then you have +6 on your physical attack on your trainer move, which also gives you +4 speed as well. And then you also have attack and defense debuffs. That's on your B move, right? Every time you attack them, that's an AOE attack and defense debuff by 1, right? And yeah, you also get an extra one over here as well if you pick not this one. If you pick this up at 3 out of 5, right? In Sun, you get an extra, so you get -2 attack, defense debuffs, AOE, right? If you have that as well. And then you also have the Master Passive and Paldea Circle, right? Paldea Pride over here, and then you have Paldea Circle when you use a status move, right? Which in this case is just Sunny Day, so you'll have Sunny Day and Paldea Circle up at the same time. So that's pretty neat, right? Although there's not like the craziest amount of Paldea units in the game right now. Although there's a few. There's enough to make these semi-relevant, I guess, right? And then again, we mentioned it before, but we do have Sun with Sunny Day. And then if you do look, I guess it could be tough with the 4 gauge and 341 speed, but it does have some gauge back, right? In the passive over here, right? It charges the user's move gauge by 1 when its attack move hits, so that helps with the gauge, right? And what also helps is the fact that you do have a sprint EX roll here as well, so that helps, I guess, with the speed if you want to buff that up a bit. And then you do have some sync multipliers, right? Over here you got there's Haymaker up here. There's this 90% when there's Paldea Circle in play, right? So those could help with your with the damage part, right? That sync damage. So, you know, being a striker, obviously you got that AoE sync on top of your AoE just regular move damage, so it's a lot of AoE damage this unit is dishing out, at least, right? As for some of the downsides, I guess one, you know, could mention the gauges. Again, gets 1 back from the passive as +4 speed, and it does have the sprint EX roll, so if you do max all that out, like, it shouldn't be that bad, right? But if you don't, then it could be a bit rough. Same thing with the DPS. Again, like if you don't go max out like the extra all that stuff, like the physical attack stat is not very high, right? Definitely not very high, and then your base power for your B move is also not super high, and your only like real like multiplier on your DPS is just like charging on 5, which is something, but you know, it's not anything crazy there. And obviously Sunny Day doesn't apply. You know, it's Sunny Day, and it doesn't innately buff your fairy type moves. It's only through charging sound 5 over there, right? So that's kind of rough. But again, it does have that, you know, AoE no split damage, but you know, as you'd expect from no, you know, split damage AoE moves, the single target damage is just overall not that great, unfortunately, right? So yeah, that's that, I guess. And then one other thing is there's just not that many Paldea units in the game at the moment to really fully utilize that master passive and the Paldea circle. I mean, it's not like there's like not any, right? You know, they've been pushing them out at a decent rate, I'd say, right? You got Arvin over here, right? The Iono, although you probably wouldn't. I mean, I don't know about this one, but like the other Iono probably wouldn't really run them together because that's a special sport, and this one's a physical unit, all that stuff. Obviously, you know, the Nemona, who else is in there? This girl, I don't remember her name. This gym leader, I don't know his name, man. I'm trying to finish the game, but my Switch died, so, and I can't get it to start up, so I don't know what to do there. Anyways, so yeah, there are some Paldea units, but obviously it's gonna get better with time, right? It's gonna get better with time, right? Just a lot of these units, like again, like stuff like Penny, like you wouldn't really run Penny with her, right? So it's just bit of a tough spot over there. So yeah, but it's not like it's gonna be forever bad, right? Like once there's more Paldea units that come out, then it'll get better. It'll get better. So it's not like a huge bad thing at the moment. So all right, now let's talk a bit about the sync grid, right? In terms of what you can do with this unit. So starting off with 2 out of 5. All right, 2 out of 5. You don't really get much in the grid 2 out of 5. Like, just honestly, like, at least offensively. So stuff like Speeding Sun would help, especially with the gauges. So just anything you could really get with like gauges and stuff. You could pick up these the B move power ups, obviously there as well, right? So the move gauge refresh would help. As for the rest, I mean, I don't really feel like you need this that much. If you're facing a stage that specifically where it has like AoE flinch, like Rock Slide or whatever, you could maybe pick this up, but otherwise probably not. I guess maybe you could go for the booster energy NPR, maybe the hidden heal if you really need it for some reason, and then the same thing with the other one. If there is AoE status, then pick it up. Otherwise, you know, don't really got that much options, right? Otherwise, just pick up like as much speed and attack that you could get, right? So as for 3 out of 5, that's where you get like most of your stuff, right? So that you could actually really use, at least offensively, right? Obviously depends if you're trying to sync with her or not. If you're trying to sync with her, obviously there's Haymaker up here, there's the 2 sync move power ups, and then you have this as well. So you could try your best to get them, right? It will cost you a few extra orbs, but I think it's kind of worth it just to get that extra +1 physical boost on those you know, terrains. Because, like, because of the fact of its passive that you also get that Paldea circle, right, when you set Sunny Day. So that makes it so that when you do set Sunny Day, you get what? So that's 2 from this, and then you also get that extra, like, 2 over here. So you get +4 physical move up next there, right? So, yeah. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention in terms of its DPS. Like, yeah, it's, like, base power is low, the base physical attack is low, there's only like 1 multiply, but I guess if you could stack up enough physical move up next, it could definitely still do really good damage there, right? You could definitely still get really good damage there off just like physical move, just mass stacking physical move up next, right? So yeah, there's also that. And yeah, that's if you're trying to sync. If you're not trying to sync, which I could definitely see why, right? Because again, like, these are big multipliers, but, like, her base attack is still pretty low, and obviously, you know, physical move up next don't really apply to syncs, right? So it would make sense if you're trying to just do DPS with her as well. So maybe something like, you pick that up, Charging Sun 5, right? I'd still try to go for this, and then, like, maybe you go for this if you want. I don't care that much. In terms of Infliction freebie, like, it does help with the gauges, and obviously the gauges is like a big thing with this unit, but like, you only get it twice, and it costs you like 10 energy, and you have to go all the way up there to get it. So I don't think this one's really worth it, personally. All right, so like, yeah, I'd rather just like maybe go over here and, you know, pick up extra Speeding Sun, maybe instead. Yeah, in terms of anything else, maybe just pick up some power-ups over here. If you want, you go for this as well. This is nice, but it just costs you a bit more. Alright, so, yeah, you would have to spend a few, you know, orbs to unlock to get it. Or, if you don't have all that, then just drop Speeding Sun, I guess, right? Just make sure the rest of your team has enough like gauge help over there. So yep, that's the grids. Team comps wise, if you really want to like run like a full Paldea team, I guess maybe you could do something like this, right? You have Arvin there to give, well, first of all, to tank, and also give you some extra physical move up next, just because she doesn't have enough physical move up next, clearly, right? And then you could also run the other Nemona with her, just because I don't know. It's fun having double Nemona, for one. But also, you know, help solve some of the, like, gauge stuff, right? Although having Arvin makes it, like, not as bad in the first place. But, yeah, and, in this case, you don't even have to sync with, Screamtail. You can just sync with, you know, the OG Nemona and get those, what's called the move gauge. Oh, not move gauge. Sync move countdown in, right? The sprint and all, so that could be something, right? Again, if you're trying to run like a full Paldea team. If you're like, again, it doesn't work that well just because like she's like a special support, but like okay if you want like the fairy rebuff and just, you know, run like a second fairy unit over here, right? Well, it can't be Paldea over here because, you know, they're the only two. But yeah, I mean, just throw in like another fairy unit in there. Probably a special one, just cause you know, Penny's special support and all that stuff. But I guess you could also go physical if you want, if there's, you know, anyone that's like self-sufficient, and then still take advantage of the physical defense debuffs over there, right? Like the thing that's slightly annoying about like running her with other physical fairy damage healers to take advantage of her physical defense debuffs is, they mostly all are pretty gauge heavy, right? If you look at like Spirit Break, Summer Marnie, obviously the big one, New Year's Lycia, right? They're all pretty gauge heavy, and I'm not sure, unless you just have like a really big like gauge support, like I'm not sure if it would really work. Which is why, if you do want to do that, I I suppose the extra speed that you get from getting Nemona to with the Sprinty X roll would help quite a lot, I think, right? So yeah, I feel like that's just a bit of an issue there, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, there are options, right? If you could somehow get the gauges to work, obviously these two, and then again, you just have to find like a big like gauge support. Like, I'm thinking, like, would Meloetta work? Because if it does work out gauges wise, right, if you pick up like Charging Affliction and stuff on her, that would be a pretty deadly team, right? Offensively, that would be pretty nice, right? So yeah, I guess it's yet to see, right? A lot of it just really depends on gauges, so not 100% sure, right? That's, you know, if you are just trying to take advantage of her defensive debuffs, so yeah. So overall, like, there's quite a few question marks with this unit, but on the other hand, there's also a lot of like known things that this unit does very, very, very well, and it does a lot of different things, right? Which you don't see that often with strikers. So yeah, again, like, it seems more like a field unit to me than a striker, field, or tech unit, right? Just like it does so much debuffs, sets field effects, all that stuff, right? So damage, etc. So yeah, and it just really depends, I guess, on how well the gauges work with this unit. But overall, I'd say you know, for fairy type damage healer, it's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. But I feel like more of its value does lie with you know, the field effects that it has. But again, at the moment, just because of like the limitations of Paldea units, it probably won't shine as much, right? So overall, with all that you know, in consideration, and again with the fact that the anniversary units are coming up, I'd probably just give it like a light sort of like 6.8 out of 10 probably. Again, a lot of factors working against her. I could see her panning out better in the future, right? But at the moment, just timing wise, might not have been like the best time to drop this unit, but maybe it'll work out better in the future. We'll see, right? So we'll see how well it ages. So anyways, that's for this one. I guess I hope you all enjoy. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy this channel. For more Paldea Masterfair videos, see you guys in the next one.